Hello, today I'd like to talk about video game scheduling, or aka why is every project you Kickstarter late? And I think it's sort of an interesting thing to talk about, and I think it's something that no one has really solved the problem. I mean, there are few companies that can do a completely new original IP on time and on budget with no crunch. In fact, I can't think of any companies. I don't know, maybe there's a company out there, but you always hear about game delays and, you know, these crazy crunch stories and things like that. And I think, you know, this problem extends to small projects as well. And you know, part of the thing about Kickstarter is your schedule from potentially an early point in the project is visible. It's visible to your backers. And so, you know, before you didn't have to push a release date, you know, that early. You didn't have to say, oh, we're a year away, when you don't know how long you are away. And so I think, you know, I don't know, every game project I've kickstarted, I think, is late. I don't think anyone has delivered on time. Which I'm not complaining, because I know what they go through, and you know, with Neverending Nightmares, I mean, technically we're going to be a month late, although I feel like personally we're on schedule because you know, I knew from the day the Kickstarter closed that we were a month late. But I mean, even still, you know, we're having to put in some extra hours, and you know, I don't feel super great about that, but you know, I think to some extent, like, we have to release, you know, end of September to sort of capitalize on that, the Halloween interest in horror. And then also, you know, I do want to do my darndest to deliver on my promises to the Kickstarter backers. But I think I'd like to sort of take a step back and look at why everyone is so bad at scheduling. And I think basically, when you do a Kickstarter, you almost always give your sort of optimistic scheduling. With Neverending Nightmares, I basically figured out what the budget was that I thought we could make, you know, that we could achieve, and then I tried to pare down the game to meet that. And so basically, after Kickstarter, the idea was, I think, 11 months of development, which it's probably... Yeah, I think that's basically where we're going to be at if we release end of September, because if I recall correctly, our Kickstarter finished the very end of September. Oh wait, so then that would be a year? Okay, so maybe, well, I didn't say... now I just ruined my secret schedule. So it's supposed to be 11 months, and it'll probably be 12 months, but I said August, and now I'm saying September, and I've been saying September for a while, so at least until I revealed that, we were only like 1 month behind because we didn't work during the Kickstarter, but now we're secretly 2 months behind, and even then, you know, we had to make some feature cuts and some hard decisions to meet that. But the real question is, you know, why? Like, why couldn't I just magically say, hey, you know, this is how long it's going to take? And I think it's a difficult problem, and I think there's a lot of problems with scheduling video games. I mean, there's scheduling software in general is challenging, but scheduling video games, I think, is even more challenging because you have to create fun or horror or you know, scary feelings in the player, and it's very difficult to say, you know, this is how long it'll take, because you basically have to try a bunch of things, see what works, and then sort of iterate on that. And so, I mean, that's why you look at the best game companies and they say, we're releasing our game when it's done. Because that's really the best, you know, they can sort of narrow it down. Because they don't know how long it'll take to find the fun. And certainly, you know, I think I had one of these called Find the Fun Fast, like, I don't know, it feels like a year ago, maybe it was a year ago, but maybe it was over a year ago. I feel like I've been doing these for a while, because I started, I think in April, leading up to the Kickstarter, because I was trying to, you know, give it a try and get this whole sort of community thing going. So maybe I've done a lot of these, because I think I did it even before we announced Neverending Nightmares. So I guess I'm over 160. Anyway, that's a lot of developer diaries. But I think, you know, you know, there's things you can do and ways you can structure production, and certainly, you know, we've done sort of a level-based approach, and that's worked out pretty well for us. But, you know, we didn't know how long a level would take, because our first level, like, took, like, I don't know, like 4 months or more to do. Well, technically, we started working on concepts, and I don't even know when we could actually say we started working on it, but basically, we started working on it in I don't know, let's just say April or something. We had something in April, and then we did the Kickstarter. I don't know. Anyway, let's say it took 3 or 4 months for the first level, and so a lot of that was figuring out the art style. And so if I said, like, oh, it's going to take 3 or 4 months to do every level, then we'd have, like, 3 levels. And so I think I was very optimistic in my schedule in the design doc. It was, like, ridiculous. It was like, by December we will finish, you know, multiple, or we'll finish one playthrough to the end, you know, like an hour of content is what I was thinking. But then basically, you know, the next level, I don't know, took probably close to 2 months, and then the level after that took close to 2 months, and so some took like 1 month or 6 weeks, and I think the Descent was the first level we really got done in a month, which is sort of what we were shooting towards, what we were building towards. And, you know, a lot of that, you know, the difficulty and the variability is, you know, trying to come up with sort of a new look for a level. Doing the Asylum was a lot of work, trying to figure out what we looked like. And then we've sort of had life intervene, you know, artists are busy, you know, this isn't their primary gig, or they have other stuff going on the side, and so it's been sort of a battle to get, you know, the artist sort of love that we need to make the game, and I think we're almost caught up on art hours of where you know, what we budgeted versus, you know, where we're at. And then, of course, we'll probably go, like, another month beyond that. But, I mean, the problem is, it's just, like, you know, and essentially, with a lot of levels, we're sort of starting over, you know, like, mechanically, this level was interesting. A lot of people, like, you know, the inmate enemies, and so then, you know, in the next level, we can't do that. We've already done that, so we have to come up with something different, and then maybe, you know, the next enemy people don't like as much, but certainly it takes a lot of time to figure it out. And I think, especially for something, you know, more atmospheric and story-driven, or you know, rather than something mechanic-based, you know, it's a lot harder to make the content and to schedule it, because, you know, once I figured out, you know, the basics of a standard retrograde level, you know, just creating the gameplay pattern to the music was pretty much a known quantity, and doing the bosses was a nightmare. Those were very difficult, and I spent way too long on those. But, I mean, like, you know, if we were doing it sort of more the Rock Band Guitar Hero style, we didn't have to make the custom backgrounds and stuff, you know, we could have churned out a ton of levels, which probably is what we should have done. Because certainly everyone complains that Retrograde was too short. But, you know, I mean, I don't even want to talk about the scheduling on Retrograde because it's embarrassing. But I mean, it's just very difficult because you don't know, and then to some extent, it's like a moving target, right? Like, you know, with Retrograde, we were trying to have a certain level of graphical polish and you know, have feature parity with these indie experiences, but then indie games kept getting, you know, bigger and more interesting, and so we felt like we had to keep going back to the drawing board and create this bigger and more interesting game. Whereas, you know, with Neverending Nightmares, we're trying to keep it relatively small and focused, and I think that's probably just as well because, you know, even if other game developers are offering these bigger and, you know, involved I think a lot of people don't finish indie games. I buy quite a few indie games, and you know, there's plenty of games that I really enjoyed that I didn't finish, and you know, why didn't I finish them? I don't know. I just sort of played enough, or I you know, moved on to other things, or I got busy, and so I think, you know, trying to focus on you know, a great short core experience is probably a better way to achieve your scheduling goals. You know, create something more along the lines of Gone Home than, I don't know, some crazy, super epic indie game. Anyway, I feel like I sort of got off topic there, but the main point was that it's really tough to schedule an indie game, and you know, I'm not much better at it than most people, and that's the secret reason why all of your favorite Kickstarter projects are delayed. Certainly, at least all of my favorite Kickstarter projects are delayed. So anyway, thanks for watching.